Hello, and welcome to Today in History for January 14th. I'm Michael Powell. Today's episode for Today in History is actually very important to us here in the United States. On January 14th of 1784, the Continental Congress ratified the Treaty of Paris, ending the War for Independence. In the document, which was actually known as the Second Treaty of Paris because the Treaty of Paris was also the name of the agreement that had ended the 7 Years' War in 1763, Britain officially agreed to recognize the independence of its 13 former colonies as the new United States of America. In addition, the treaty settled the boundaries between the United States and what remained of British North America. U.S. fishermen won the right to fish in the Grand Banks off the Newfoundland coast and in the Gulf of St. Lawrence. Both sides agreed to ensure payment to creditors in other nations of debts incurred during the war and to release all prisoners of war. The United States promised to return the land confiscated during the war to its British owners, to stop any further confiscation of British property, and to honor the property left by the British Army on U.S. shores, including Negroes or slaves. Both countries assumed perpetual rights to access the Mississippi River. Despite the agreement, many of these issues remain points of contention between the two nations in the post-war years. The British did not abandon their western forts as promised, and attempts by British merchants to collect outstanding debts from Americans were unsuccessful, as American merchants were unable to collect from their customers, many of whom were struggling farmers. In Massachusetts, where by 1786 the courts were clogged with foreclosure proceedings, farmers rose in violent protests known as the Shays Rebellion, which tested the ability of the United States to maintain law and order within its borders, and instigated serious reconsideration of the Articles of Confederation. Yeah, it was a struggle from the beginning. The Articles of Confederation were eventually brought up to date, and that's what happened on this day in history. I'm Michael Powell. Join me again tomorrow for another episode. Till then, watch this.